Hi, hello. Happy Monday to you. This is Moyra's Storytime. Reading you a book each week, a bit of a Storytime book. So tonight the book comes with a bit of a warning. It is in fact called Walter the Farting Dog. It's a classic, written by William Coswinkle and Glenn Murray, illustrated by Audrey Coleman. Now, I'm going to be very honest with you. There is, if you don't find fart humour funny, this may not be the book for you. However, let me just let you know that fart humour is quite funny, particularly when it comes to a dog, because we know that's how dogs roll. They really enjoy. Hey, Claude, how are you? Good job, mate. Just having some water, Claude. Bolts, good to see you, buddy. Marsha, hello. All of these wonderful people from Hot Tomato who we don't actually get to see at the moment because we are, of course, self-isolating. Good, fantastic farts. Okay, so without further ado, I present to you Walter the Farting Dog. Walter the Farting Dog. There we go. Oh, good, Jen. It's the best. Your kids love it. That's fantastic. Hey, Andy. Hey, Adam. Hi, guys. All right, here we go. Are you ready? All right, you can't say it. Okay, let's do it. Betty and Billy brought Walter home from the dog pound. Nobody wanted him, said Billy. But we love him, said Betty. Well, he smells awful, said their mother. I think you'd better give him a bath. Okay. Mother walked in and said, he still smells awful. And that's when they got their first clue. The telltale bubbles in the water. He's probably just a little bit nervous, said Mother hopefully. His stomach must be upset. But Walter's stomach was not upset. Walter's stomach was fine. He felt perfectly normal. He just farted a lot. He did it when he bathed. He did it when he played with Betty and Billy. He did it when he walked around the house. He did it in the dining room. He did it in the kitchen. And he did it in his sleep. That dog farts morning, noon and night, said Father. He can't help it, Daddy, said Betty and Billy. They didn't mind Walter's farts. So, what if he farts, Billy said to Betty when they were alone in their room with Walter. Betty agreed. Walter agreed too. He sat there looking innocently around, farting. Take him to the vet, said Father. Farting, said the vet, or rectal flatulence, as we say in the medical profession, and prescribed a change in diet. They gave Walter every type of dog food. He farted. They tried him on cat food. They gave him hot dogs, hamburgers, and lettuce and tomato sandwiches. They gave him fried chicken. They gave him rabbit food. They made him a vegetarian. No matter what that dog eats, he turns it into farts, roared Father. Walter got the blame for everybody else's farts. If Uncle Irv let one slip, he just went and stood near Walter. Then all he had to say was, Walter, and everyone would look at poor Walter. He has to go back to the pound, said Father. No, Daddy, please, begged Betty and Billy. Don't send Walter away. He goes tomorrow, said Father. They pleaded. They pleaded. Walter farted. I'm just a bit parched. I'm just going to get a little bit of water. That is good. That is good water. Bit hot too. Whew. Okay. It was all over. That night, Betty and Billy cried in their beds. Walter looked at them unhappily. "Oh, Walter," said Betty, "you've got to stop farting because..." "Because Father is going to send you back to the pound tomorrow," said Billy. Walter knew how serious the situation was. He'd never seen Betty and Billy again. He resolved to hold in his farts forever. When Betty and Billy fell asleep, he walked down to the kitchen to see if there was anything around to eat. He managed to open the cupboard door with his nose and found the 10-kilo bag of low-fart dog biscuits. They made him fart even more. Even though he knew they made him fart more, he couldn't resist. He ate the entire bag. "Very tasty," said Walter. Then he went and lay down on the sofa. A gigantic gas bubble began to build inside him. "This is going to be trouble," he said to himself nervously. He was afraid of what might happen if he let it go. He thought maybe the house would explode, so he kept it in. It wasn't easy. In fact, it was torture. But he had resolved never to fart again. His future depended on it. And as he lay there, his tail wrapped tightly between his legs, he heard a noise at the window. "Look, boys and girls, that's He watched it slowly open. A pair of burglars came through. They dropped silently into the kitchen. "Watch out for the dog," said one of the burglars. "He won't bite," said the other. "He's a wimp." Walter might have bitten them, except he was too filled with gas. He couldn't move. They tied a rag around his snout so he couldn't bark. "Okay," said the first burglar. "Let's clear this place out." They took everything that they could get their hands on. Walter wanted to stop them, but he was having unbearable gas pains. He rolled on his back. He waved his paws in the air. He gnashed his teeth. "We've got it all," said the second burglar. "Let's go." That's when Walter let it fly. It was the worst fart of his life. It made a tremendous noise and shot him across the room. A hideous cloud filled the air. The burglars clutched to their throats, unable to breathe. Look, there they are. With teeth. I just need a little bit more water. Very parched. Thanks, Vicky. With tears in their eyes, they raced for the window. They tried to grab their bag with all the valuables in it, but their arms were too weak. "Let's get out of here." They jumped out the window and ran up the block. Choking and gasping for air, still blinded by Walter's attack, they stepped into the headlights of an approaching police car. "Hold it right there! Don't know why he's British," said the policeman. When Father and Mother came down in the morning, there they are, beautiful outfits, amazing. When Father and Mother came down in the morning, they found the open window and they saw the bag with the valuables in it. And Walter was sitting beside it. He still had the rag tied around his snout. You'd have to say he looked quite heroic. "He saved the silverware," said Mum. He saved the VCR, cried Father. Good dog, Walter. You're our dog, even if you fart all the time. And so the family learned to live with Walter, the hero dog. And that is the end of our tale. Thank you very much for joining us this evening for Walter the Farting Dog. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. I do have two little men here who are wanting to say good night. There's Jackson. And Eli, you need to come a bit... Oh, there he is. And we have someone else as well tonight who wants to say good night to all the boys and girls. No. Good night, everybody. I hope you enjoyed our wonderful story this evening. Thank you to... goodness. Thank you to everybody who's joined us, and we look forward to next week. We are taking suggestions as well for what you would like to hear next week. Thank you very much for joining us. Good night, Claude. Good night, Angela. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Ew.
Thank you very much, and good night. Oh.